much more. Plan your getaway at visitwilliamsburg.com.
Talk about a firecracker here. Delaware Senator Ted Kaufman has been outspoken on Capitol Hill lately. He's saying more needs to be done to break the economic cycle of boom-bust bailout. Senator Kaufman also just got back from a visit to Iraq, Afghanistan, and Pakistan. Delaware Senator Ted Kaufman joins me now from the newsroom. Good to see you, Senator.
Good to see you, Thomas.
You know, a lot of people call you refreshing. You're a man many thought would be a Senate placeholder after taking over the seat held by Vice President Biden. And you really have emerged as this fire-breathing leader. How did you become such a fearless crusader?
Well, it's a matter of principle and what you believe in, and that's what I'm here. And as you know, I really started out with a big advantage since I'd worked in the Senate for 22 years, and then I taught about it at the Duke Law School for 20 years. So I really had a big head start. And the fact that I'm not running for re-election, in fact, one of the reasons I'm not running for re-election is I could concentrate 100% of my time on the Senate, on doing the Senate job and getting back to Delaware. So I really started out with a great big head start. And this issue with the financial reform is I just have a difference of opinion.
And you have been very critical of Wall Street and the financial system. You certainly make no apologies about it.
Right.
If you had to get out the big broom, what would you sweep clean?
Well, too big to fail. I mean, we just cannot have institutions that are too big to fail, and right now we do. If you look back just 15 years ago and you add up the assets of the top 6 banks in America, it added up to 17% of the gross domestic product. Today, top 6 banks in America cover 62% of the gross domestic product. They're just too big, they're too complicated, they're intertwined around the world. They cannot, and they are right now, I believe, too big to fail.
Senator, I want to talk with you about Afghan President Karzai. There are reports there may be growing tension between his country and the United States. As a member of the Armed Services Committee, you just got back from meeting with the Afghan president. Did you get a sense there may be trouble?
Well, I don't think it's trouble between our country and Afghanistan. I think things are going very well for us in Afghanistan. It's basically a problem where, and I talked about this after my trip in September, during the siege. I thought the single biggest problem was how do we deal with the Karzai government after the election, you know, and the charges of fraud and also the allegations of corruption and the drugs and his family and friends being involved in it. It's a very difficult situation, and he's kind of stuck in a tough spot too, because what we're going to be doing now is, for the first time, the military is going to go into Kandahar city, which is really the base of his support. That's where his basic support is the Pashtun tribe. It also happens to be the place where the Taliban comes from and where Mullah Omar, the head of the Taliban, is from. So when we go in there, we're going to be going in and going through the whole city, and I think there's a possibility that we will turn up in fact, some of his relatives or friends who are involved in drugs and in corruption, and then it's going to be very, very difficult for him.
I want to get back on the Hill real quick for the final 30 seconds.
Yeah.
What do you make of Congressman Bart Stupak resigning today?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, you have to know something about it, but in terms of what went on, it just seems like a whole ugly deal there. But I frankly don't know exactly what his reason for resigning and therefore what it means.
Senator Kaufman, always good to see you. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.